fitness coach for today. Today we're going to work a lot on the hamstring for flexibility and extension, and we're going to use this chair and we're going to use some yoga poses. Before we kind of get started, I want to talk about the chair and a little bit about safety. So it's really important that you have a very sturdy, secure chair, number one. Number two, that you're on a surface that is a non-skid, something that has tactability so that your chair doesn't move. You could place the chair back up against a wall. That would work really well. You may want to put a towel over just so you don't mark up your wall with the back of your chair. So having said that, just making sure that you're safe while you're working at home. We're going to go ahead and get started. Before I do, one other note, we are going to be using props like a block. So if you do not have a block, don't worry about it. You can use a blanket, you could use a big beach towel. If you have an old shoebox around, that would work great as well. So don't worry if you don't have a block. So now let's get started. We're going to start and we're going to face the chair. And we're going to take our feet about hip width apart. So many times when I'm in a classroom setting, people ask me, well, what is hip width? I don't even know what that means. So one of the techniques we use to help us find that is to bring the inner edges of your feet together. And then you're going to open the feet like you were going to go into first position in ballet. And that just allows us to see the articulation you have in your hip. And then you're going to just extend the heels or kick the heels out until your feet are back into that parallel position. And that will give us a good estimate of hip width position for you. So we're going to start in this Tadasana style pose. And we're going to think about finding what we call the four corners of the feet. The knuckle of your big toe, little toe, inner and outer edge of your heel. Almost like a rectangle on the bottom of your foot. And you want to try to maintain an equal amount of pressure in all four of those quadrants. We're going to press down into the four corners of the feet and physically move the thighs back. Then draw back from this abdominal wall, lift up from the heart, let the arms come down by your side. The shoulders should be coming together slightly on the back where you're opening up this chest, this sternum. The crown of your head, this part of your head is reaching up towards the ceiling, almost like there's a magnet that's extending. So you're feeling this grounding action with your feet, but you're also feeling this incredible extension to the spine. And then just kind of allowing your eyes to close. And let's focus on your breath for a couple seconds. Breathe in through the nose. And I want you to audibly open the mouth and just go, ah. And let's do that again. Inhale through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. And one more time, in. Open the mouth, exhaling. And for the next 15 or 20 minutes, however much time we're spending together, see if you can try to allow yourself to stay focused right here, right now in this moment. So you're going to open your eyes, and with an inhale, I want you to float the arms halfway up. From here, I want you to find the shoulder connector. Pull the shoulders onto the back. Keep that integrity in the core, lift from the heart, press into the feet, and now see if you can take the arms all the way up, maintaining that nice distance between your shoulder blade and your ear. You're going to interlace your hands, reach up, pull back from the abdominal wall, and then gently tip everything over to your right side. And as I'm doing this, I'm reaching these fingertips, my index fingers, diagonally across the room. I'm thinking of lifting up from that side rib cage. My head is just relaxed in between. And then I'm going to inhale as I come all the way up. And then exhale as you take it over to the other side. And we're thinking the same thing, reaching and extending. Keep that abdominal wall pulled in. My legs are very strong. I'm continuing to move the thighs back. Inhale as you come up. Now press into the four corners of the feet. Pull up from the abdominal wall. Move the pelvis forward a little bit. Lift from the heart and look up with your eyes. Beautiful. Big breath in. On your exhale, you're going to go into a forward fold. The hands are just going to come straight down to your chair. So I'm going to press my hands into my chair, and what I want to think about is the legs. So I'm going to start with the legs first. So many times when we're in a forward fold position, what happens is the hips shift back. We don't want the hips to shift back because A, it's not a correct alignment, but B, it takes some of the pressure off the hamstring, and that's what we're really trying to work on. So I want you to shift into the ball of your foot and let your heel actually float off the ground. From this position, I want you to take the tailbone, extend it, straighten the legs. Now slowly let the heels touch down. Nice. Now we're going to talk about the arms. The arms are pressing down into the chair, but I want you to think about these reciprocal energies. From your elbow to your shoulder, the energy is pulling up and it's plugging that shoulder socket. So the head of the arm bone is going into the shoulder socket. At the same time, this energy from your elbow is pushing down into your hand. So there's these two lines of energy that are working. So I'm pressing and extending. My tailbone is lifting. I'm still in the ball of my foot. I can stay here on my hands, or I can use a prop and I can come down to my forearms. See how that feels on your hamstrings? Or if you have that flexibility, you can come all the way down onto your forearms on the chair. No matter where you are, it doesn't matter. You're going to shift back into the ball of your foot, press your heels down. I'm going to lift the tailbone up and move the thighs back again. Pull up from this abdominal wall, and as I'm pushing into my forearms or your hands, you're pulling the crown of your head towards your chair. And I'm almost trying to imagine if I can touch the crown of my head to this chair, I'm going to push gently into that chair. And I'm just here and I'm breathing. I'm going to inhale and exhale. Let's do two more. Inhale, exhale, and one more time. Inhale and exhale. With your next inhale, if you're on your forearms, you're going to walk it all the way up. Now we're going to shift and go into a modified chair pose. So I'm going to shift into the heels. I'm going to bend those knees. My toes are light. Keeping that weight and activating this major part of the glute, I want to gently put my toes back down. I'm going to start to pull up from the abdominal wall and lift more from the chest. And my eyes are going to look just past the top of my chair as I reach my hands here. From here, I'm pressing down into the outer edges of my hands as I lift the chest, and I'm going to float the arms. Beautiful. Let's do one more breath here. On your next exhale, you're going to stand all the way up and bring the hands to the heart. So we're going to put that all together again. Inhale the arms up. Interlace. Let's take it over to your right side. Let's do 2 full breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. And as you exhale, come up. And let's go over to your left. Inhale in here. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale as you come up. Inhale as you move the pelvis forward. Lift from the heart, look up. Beautiful. One more big breath here. On your exhale, you're going to bring the arms down, goes right to your chair. Here comes your forward fold position. So, thinking about being in the front of your foot, in the ball of your foot, press your heels down, thighs go back, tailbone lifts, abdominal wall draws up, shoulders pull away from your back. Option 1. Option 2. Option 3. No matter what option you're in, check the thighs, check the tailbone, pull up from the abdominal wall, and reach the crown of your head away. Be mindful of where your shoulders are, and just breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time. Be mindful again of just keeping the intensity kind of an even intensity. Don't try to overdo it. Just work within the parameters you have. With your next inhale, let's walk it back up. We're going to go to that modified chair pose. Slide back. Toes are light, weight in the heel, pull from the abdominal wall, shoulders on the back, walking the hands to the top of the chair, float. Now you're going to do a little swan dive, bringing the hands, and I want you to shift your shoulders right over your wrists. So we're going to come into a modified plank. I'm going to turn my block and place my hands right on my chair. I want my elbow, wrist, and shoulder to stay right where they are. All I'm going to do is reach my legs back as I maintain this nice little position. I'm pulling up from my abdominal. I'm trying to get the shoulder blades onto the back. Good. Now, if you want to make this a little trickier, you could float one leg. You could float the other leg. But we're not going to do any chaturangas or anything here. We're going to inhale. On the exhale, I'm going to start to push with my arms back. I'm going to walk my feet in just a little bit because we're coming into a modified down dog. I'm pushing back with my arms until my arms are extended. My legs are straight. I'm going to bend my knees, lift up off my heels, turn my tailbone up. Now push with the arms as you reach and extend the legs straight And then exhale as you lower those heels down. And I'm going to let the head release and just focus on that breath. Give me 2 more full breaths, inhaling and exhaling. One more time. Pressing down into the chair, I'm going to lift my head up. I'm going to reach my right foot under the chair so that my right knuckle of my little ankle bone is right next to the chair. And I'm going to go ahead and hop that left foot in until that heel is down. So I want to make sure that I'm going to square the hips. I'm going to cut that right hip back so that the hips are square in the back. I'm pressing into the knuckle of my right big toe, and when I do that, I feel this kneecap pull up. I'm pressing into the heel of my left foot and extending that tailbone out the back door. Pressing into the hands, extending the spine. So remember your option 1. You could go to option 2, which would be right here, or option 3. Doesn't matter which option you're doing. So again, squaring the hips. Pressing into the back left heel, find the knuckle of the right big toe, press. Pull up from that right kneecap. Draw the belly back and reach the crown of your head towards your chair. Get your shoulders to come onto your back. And just breathe. Give me 2 full breaths. One more. So we're going to slowly walk it back up. Good. We're going to think about plank again. Shoulders are in one line. I'm stepping it back to my modified plank. And I'm going to go to my modified down dog. I'm going to push and go back. I'm going to bend the knees, turn the tailbone up. Beautiful. Push with my arms, extend the legs straight, and lower the heels. Relaxing the head. Breathing. You have 2 more full breaths here. One more full breath. With your next inhale, press into your hands. Bring that body up. Here comes your left foot forward. Hopping that right foot in until that right heel is on the ground. So the left ankle bone is touching the left side of that chair leg. I'm going to go ahead and square the hips. Take the pelvis, turn the tailbone out. Remember the arms, pressing in, shoulders coming onto your back. Option 1 here. Option 2. Option 3. You're going to choose the option that works best for you. Again, tailbone out the back, hips are square. Pushing into my forearms or my hands, reaching the crown of the head away, shoulders on the back, and just breathing here. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. 2 more breaths. One more time. With your next inhale, you're going to walk it back up. We're going to go into that plank one more time. Extending back. Remember, your shoulders are staying right here. You can add that floating of the legs if you want to make this a little more challenging. Beautiful. This time we're going to step into that modified chair pose. So I'm going to bring my feet forward. Shift my weight back. Reach the hands to the top of the chair. Lift the heart. Float the arms. Beautiful. Inhale as you come all the way up. And exhale as the hands come right into the chest. Release the arms all the way down. I'm hoping that you were feeling those nice stretches in your hamstring. And I can't wait to see you all again. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste.